Hello, everybody. This is Jodi Ashbrook, and welcome to another episode of Inspire Me TV. As you know, I'm on my journey across the country. I'm coming to you from St. Louis, and I am so excited. I can't tell you, this is like a reunion of sorts that we get the opportunity, number one, to speak with you today with Tiana Patrice. Not only is she a best-selling author of 52 Shades of Fearless, but she is a coach, she's a speaker, and most recently, the mastermind behind the Fearless Tour, which is already launched. It's getting ready to hit the road. I'll let her give you more details on its first stop, but it is taking the country by, well, I should say world, and I'll let you share that scope, but it's taking the world by storm with her vision of 1 million fearless women. So really creating this space to go on faith and release your fears. And I am personally so excited to be here with Tiana and have this conversation with her because Tiana and I knew each other in a past life. We really kind of got brought up together in our earlier careers. And now, as the saying goes, you know, paths always reconnect. You never know who and how people will come into your space and back into your life in various forms. And so I'm really happy to be here. And thank you for being here with us, Tiana, today. One, I mean, you are just this ball of fire. I've known that about you since day one. And so please share with us not only your vision for the Fearless Tour, but really what ignited you to begin on this journey. I know I saw recently it was your 2-year boss anniversary. Am I saying that correctly? Being your own boss, being your own boss, like 2 years, you went out, you took the leap. So kind of take us from there. And you took the leap, you took the risk, and now it's just evolved into this, as you say, something much, much bigger than you to really inspire so many women. So please share the beginning and kind of bring us to today.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, Jodi, thank you so much for even having me here and being a part of Inspire Me TV. I'm so honored and humbled to really be here. And like you said, we have, you know, history. You have been such a pivotal person in my life, honestly, from just my younger days of growing into the leader that I am today. And I really do owe that to your mentorship. So I'm so grateful for that. And so here I am 2 years later after starting my business. And I really tell everybody that, you know, this journey has absolutely nothing to do with me. I was on the phone with a friend earlier and we were talking about evolution. And I said, you know what, when we think about it, we have both evolved so much over the course of the past 2 years. And so we started laughing. We said the evolution of Tiana, you know, and so she kind of broke down 3 different times where she's seen me transform in the course of 2 years. And so here we are now launching the Fearless Tour, and the Fearless Tour is so much bigger than me. In fact, it has nothing to do with me at all. I am literally just the vessel that God is using to be able to reach, you know, the women of this world. And I'm telling everybody that women could absolutely run this world if we would really just step on the opposite side of fear. And so being fearless right now, I tell people that purpose is popular. And so a lot of women are really trying to figure out what their purpose is. And they're going to these conferences and these events and they're getting inspired and empowered. But when they leave, they're still just as confused. I was one of those women. And so there's that white space there of attending a conference that is more than just inspiration and empowerment. We're going to take action. So at the Fearless Tour, women are being required to stretch. Yes, we're going to empower you. Yes, we're going to inspire you, but you're going to have to do the work right there. So we're focusing on goal setting. We're focusing on mindset shifting. That's really big with women because we've been beat down so much in life, whether it's through work or relationships, that we now beat ourselves down and we self-sabotage our own success. And so we're going to focus on shifting our mindset from I can't to I can. And there's actually activities that go along with that. So women are, you know, taking action in that. So yes, this movement is huge. And it's really not about me. I wrote 52 Shades of Fearless in one of the saddest seasons of my life. I know that you know all about that, but I lost my grandmother. She's like my mom. You know, she raised me along with my single mom. And so that was the first time that I've ever lost someone in that capacity. And I started questioning my purpose all over again. And one thing that I tell people is purpose is consistent. Purpose doesn't change. Your passions may change, but purpose doesn't change. It's something that continues throughout the course of your life. And so my purpose never changed. However, some of my passions changed by losing my grandmother. I stopped placing my time in areas that didn't set my soul on fire. I stopped areas of my business that didn't really excite me. And I started writing, and I got still. And in that season, I asked God, I said, God, what should I do in this season? Because I'm sad. I don't want to work with people. It's not that I didn't like people. I was just sad. And my business is really based on being creative. So I didn't want to take people's money if I couldn't give them all of me, because I was broken. So there wasn't much of me to give in that season. And so I got still and I wrote. And in 2 months, I wrote 52 Shades of Fearless. And the vision for the Fearless Tour was put on my heart right after I finished the book. But ironically, I was afraid. I was afraid to launch it because I knew that it was so much bigger than me. You know, how was I going to reach these women? You know, doubting myself. Who am I to be able to go on this mission and encourage women to live fearlessly? And so, Jodi, are you still there? Hey, Jodi, are you still there with me? Jodi? Hey, you're kind of fuzzy. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I don't know what happened.
Oh no, is it storming there too?
Yes, it
That's
is.
probably what it is. Okay,
Technical difficulties. Nothing ever goes exactly as we want it to go.
exactly. But we're here. So, is the link still the same?
Yes.
So the link should be still the same. Okay, so
Yep.
are we live now? Are we starting the broadcast?
We are good. We're on. So you were sharing like your mission. So the mission of the Fearless Tour
Yes.
really came upon your heart after you finished your book.
Yes. So it came to me after I finished the book, and I was afraid. I honestly was. Ironic. And so my business is based on faith, family, and freedom. You know, I believe in God and all He is. And so I remember that He kept placing this on my heart, and I kept saying, basically, no, God, you got to go somewhere else with this. I was just supposed to write a book. And so the vision that I was given was the book was just the platform, girl. That was just a platform for you to be able to start this mission that I really have for you. And so the third time that it came to me, one thing that I know about God is when he places something on your heart, if you don't move in it, he'll give it to somebody else. And so the third thing that was given to me was one of my students came to me and she said, Tiana, I don't know why I'm supposed to be telling you this, but delayed obedience is still disobedience. And I was like, okay, all right. And so I went and I prayed that night and I said, God, if this is something that you have for me, these are the things I need. I need a team. I need people to help me that believe in this vision as much as I believe this vision or even more. Me and God, we have an awesome relationship. And I said, God, I even need your financial support. Okay, God, I need you to put me in the places where I need to be. And in 1 week, my team was filled. And that was in March, at the end of March. And we launched the Fearless Tour on May 27th, which May 27th, 2 years ago, was the day that I walked into my boss's office and turned in my 30-day notice. June 27th, I quit my job.
I have goosebumps.
And so that's just kind of how it all started. And so I know that this, while it's much bigger than me, our mission is to be able to touch the lives, whether through blogging or with the tour, through listening to the podcast, listening to, hangouts and things like we're doing right now, of 1 million women. And so if you follow the hashtag a million fearless strong, that's our goal in the next year, to be able to touch the lives of 1 million women. And so coming up here soon, we'll be launching the website, amillionfearlessstrong.org, where we will be able to go on and take the pledge of living fearlessly. It's going to be so amazing. I was able to do a free citywide photo shoot where I encouraged women to come out. We poured into one another's lives. They did a photo shoot. They cried. They did videos. And I'm going to be able to share all of that on this website. So when you go on the website, you'll be able to see their photos and a story of what being fearless means to them. And when you read their stories, it just really lets me know that I am serving my purpose and I am on the right path, because it gives them a platform to stand bold in their power and say no more. No more can fear hold me back and keep me stagnant. No longer can fear ransack my hopes and dreams. I deserve. And that's what I tell women all the time. That is a complete sentence. I deserve. I deserve. That is a complete sentence. And so that's what this movement and this mission is all about. And so they'll be able to go on the website and take that pledge. And each week they'll get an email from me to keep them motivated along the way, as well as some other goodies and things of that nature. So that's kind of where we are right now. And, of course, I could not have started this tour without kicking it off in my hometown. So we'll be kicking it off on August 27th, which is actually 1 year to the day of me losing my grandmother, or I would say heaven gaining another angel on August 27th. So August 27th last year is when my grandmother received her angels, and August 27th this year, we'll be kicking off the Fearless Tour, because this is also a part of her legacy. I wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for that season that I went through, with losing my grandmother. And so I say it's so amazing how she's continuing to leave a legacy even when she's not here. So we'll kick off the Fearless Tour August 27th here in Dothan, Alabama. Then we'll go over to Birmingham, Atlanta. We have Mobile, Alabama coming up, Virginia, and we're looking at going to Boston too.
So powerful. And so I just want to clarify one of the things that you said, that you created and you did, because I think it's such a selfless act to really inspire the fearlessness that you talk about. And I just want to bring this up again. And you said that this will be on the website. It's launching soon, but you created a citywide photo shoot.
Yeah.
Right? So people didn't have to. So talk to me about that experience and what that was about, and really the intention and the purpose behind that, because that's not something that you hear of often. And so you're kind of walk us through what that was, and walk us through the intention behind why you created that experience.
Absolutely. Well, there are a couple of reasons of why I decided to do it. One is I wanted women to actually have a visual to what the Fearless Tour is about. It's hard to get people to really invest their time or even their mind into something if they don't understand what it really is. And so I said, how can I do that visual? And I said, well, what other way than to have a room full of women telling their stories of being fearless? And so I came up with the idea to have a photo shoot. I talked to my team. I have the 2 photographers on my team. I pitched the idea to them, and they said, absolutely, let's do it. That's the type of team that I have. And I said, well, guys, we only have about 2.5 weeks to put this together. And they looked at me like, okay, so what's the problem? And so I said, okay. So we launched it. The TV stations picked it up. I was able to go onto the news and talk about it. It was absolutely amazing. And so it allowed women to be able to come together. They were, nervous at first. They come into this room. I asked them all to just wear a white shirt and blue jeans so we could have some type of cohesiveness. It literally looked like a Dove commercial. It was so powerful to see them walking down this hallway into the room. And I can see them, and they're kind of looking to see where they're supposed to go. And you're seeing kind of like that fretful person walk in. But when they walked out, they're strong, and they were friends, and they're exchanging phone numbers and exchanging stories. And now I go on Facebook, and I see 2 of the girls did another event together, empowering teens last weekend. And I look on Facebook, and I see another one of the young ladies. She was speaking at a conference at a church here, but that they met at this photo shoot. And so that is what the Fearless Tour is about. Women have to understand that we're all in this together, that we all have a story. And how dare us not reach back and pull our sisters forward. This is a diverse movement. It's not about one race. It's an amazing opportunity for women to come together and say, girl, I got your back. I got your back in this. The photo shoot was diverse. We had women from all different races, nationalities, creeds. And I also have someone on my team that is an interpreter, a sign language interpreter. So we're able to reach the deaf community, a community that normally would not be able to attend events like this. So we had, I believe, 3 women from the deaf community there. And they did a video. Each one of them did a video about what being fearless means to them. That was even powerful to see them sign out how they're afraid to be in front of people because of what people will think of them, because they don't, communicate as the way that everyone else does. That was powerful. One of them said that fear has no more power here. I'm no longer shy. I will stand bold in my power. We're all just like, oh my God, no, we're all just in there crying. But it was absolutely amazing. And then we allowed them, whoever wanted to stay over and do videos. And so it started out with like 2 or 3 having the courage to do the video. But once the rest of the room saw them, we ended up with about 12 videos. And they just got up and they talked about how fear has kind of kept them back in life, but what being fearless means to them and what their goal is. And we have, one of the girls cried in her videos. Honestly, it's one of my favorites. And so we're going to be putting out 1 photo every other day coming up here soon and sharing the stories. And we'll also be sharing those videos for the world to see. So that's what this movement is absolutely about. We're going to encourage the world. We're encouraging the women of the world to show us they're fearless. Take a selfie. Show us you're fearless. Use the hashtag. What does being fearless mean to you? So that we can get this movement going. So that's just kind of where we are. And, every day I just realize how truly blessed I am.
I love what you said about show us you're fearless. And, you use the word, it's a movement. And it really is. What you're doing is a movement. You said, sometimes people were afraid to get up and do the videos, but they saw other people step out of that fear, go do their video. And it's a ripple effect, right? So helping people to understand how powerful fear can be and probably has played a role in their life, and how powerful it can be to step out of that. And you're officially the fearless expert. So I'm going to ask you this question because I think the common feeling, and I hear this a lot, whether I'm, talking to students at the yoga studio, or I'm talking to coaching clients, whatever it may be, that fear is so powerful sometimes we don't even realize how much it becomes a part of our life. And so for you being the expert really in this platform, if someone's watching this and they're curious, you know, they're inspired by you, they're drawn to your movement, they want to potentially attend, you know, a stop on the Fearless tour, maybe they're interested in buying your book, 52 Shades of Fearless. What would be the starting point of identifying, has fear played a part in their life? I mean, usually intuitively we know, but what would be some ideas or things that you could share to say, this is what fear looks like, and this is one place you can start to begin to move through that? Because you and I both know fear is really thick. It kind of tells you all kinds of stories of what you can, can't,
Absolutely.
should, all of that. So what's your starting point as the expert on becoming and being fearless?
You know, that is actually a great question. And I love the fact that you said that fear is so powerful. What I love to say is fear is consistent. Fear is a consistent hustler. It's one of the most consistent hustlers that I know. And so what happens is that we don't recognize when fear comes to the party. I tell everybody that life is a big party. You should be enjoying your life, not being afraid of it. And so, but what happens is we don't realize when fears come to the party. We've allowed fear in the room so long. We've allowed fear to, you know, DJ our party so long. We've allowed fear to drive our car to the party for so long that we don't even recognize when it's in the room. And so what I ask women to do is, how many of you guys have been overwhelmed this week? And they raise their hands. How many of you guys have been confused this week? How many of you guys have avoided doing something that you really know you needed to do? What happens is once we pull back the layers of all of those things, excuses, overwhelm, stress, confusion, not starting something because we want it to be perfect. When we pull back all of those layers, at the bottom of that onion is fear, right? And so once we recognize that, the first step is recognize when fear comes to the party. So start writing out the things that you're avoiding, that you're confused on, right? And then the next thing that you need to do is really acknowledge fear. So there's a part in my book where I step back, and instead of going, I'm not going to be afraid. No, we're going to be afraid. We're humans. We're not robots. Fear is a part of our life. Fear is necessary, right? Fear is necessary because fear is how we become resilient. And so what we have to do, though, is we have to acknowledge fear. Just as the sun has a job to do, right, to light the day, the moon lights the night, that's their job. Fear's job is to really keep us stagnant. It is. And so what we have to do is acknowledge fear. Fear, I see you over there. You can come to the party, but you have to have a seat. You can't touch the radio. You can't have any snacks. You can't have any punch. And you sure can't come to the dance floor because this is about me. And that very thing that fear is trying to convince you that you're unworthy of, that very thing that fear is trying to convince you not to do, is that very thing that you need to take action in. So do it afraid. I know that we hear that all the time. Feel the fear and do it anyways. Do it afraid, but that's what you really have to do. Because once you do it afraid, that's when the power comes, right? Confidence comes from knowledge. Confidence comes from taking action. And so once we do it afraid that first time, we realize that that barking dog wasn't a bulldog. That was just a little bitty chihuahua, and it's really cute. So I think that fear really keeps us, you know, hiding behind that corner because we're not sure what it looks like on the other side, right? And so that's what the Fearless Tour is about. That's what this movement is about, to encourage women to just step on the other side of fear. Once you do it that one time, you have confidence, you build up resiliency, you have strength and confidence and courage to do it all over again. So that's the biggest thing I would, you know, encourage women to do. One, recognize when it comes to the party and acknowledge it. Don't ignore it. This is fear. Fear, I know that you're here. But fear, you cannot take my power. Not today, not ever. I release the chains of fear. You can no longer have me shackled. I can win. I am not defeated. I am not doubtful. I believe in myself. I believe in my dreams, and you can have no parts in that. And those are the types of things that we have to tell ourselves consistently, because fear is consistent. And if we don't be consistent in believing ourselves and shifting our mindset, then fear will win every time.
I love it. I love, love, love the word consistent. Fear is consistent. And I also love what you said. Fear, what did you say? Fear is the most consistent hustler you know.
It is.
It hustles you. It really hustles.
It's a hustler.
And you didn't even know. And you're like, I got hustled again, you know?
You got hustled again by fear. Absolutely. Right? Because it's going to tell you that you're not good enough. And it tells you that so much that you don't do what you need to do. You're not good enough. You want to quit your job. Why would you want to quit your job? Who's going to pay you? Who's going to listen to you? You want to be a coach. Who's going to believe in anything that you have to say? You're not qualified. You're not this, right? And so we could begin to belittle ourselves. And once we pull back all of those layers, at the bottom of that, it's just fear.
I love it. So this is like Tiana packed into 30 minutes. This is a small taste of what people get when they work with you one-on-one, when they come to some of your workshops that you do. I know you do workshops all over the country. And then obviously the Fearless Tour. So we know it's starting off in Dothan, Alabama, August 27th. Then you said you're going to Birmingham is the next stop?
Yes,
correct?
Birmingham is the next stop as of right now. And that one's on September 24th. There may be one before that one. We're still working on that date. But yeah, what we're doing is we're working in the areas where we can just hop in the car and get to these women really quickly. But what I'm finding is that is my goal. God has something greater in store, because all of these other places have been popping up and women have been reaching out and saying, we want you here. Please come and bring the Fearless Tour here. We had Africa reach out to us last week. So it's just an amazing experience. And I'm just so blessed and honored to be able to just walk in this movement alongside a million women. Because it's not about me. I don't walk in front of these women. I walk by their sides. And so I'm just so excited about it.
Well, and I think, you know, and I know we're wrapping up here, but I want to just, you know, reinforce the power of what you're doing and the message, because fear, as you know, shows up in every single aspect of, you know, someone's life. It can be as simple, and I hear this all the time, so I'll connect it back to what I'm used to. This is a very real fear. People call me and they've never taken a yoga class, right? And so they say, well, what kind of shoes do I wear? What do I bring? And it's been a year that they've been thinking about it, or 5 years they've wanted to take a yoga class, or they've wanted to start on a project, or they want to lose weight. Whatever it is, right? It hustles, and it's big, and it creeps into every party, every dance floor of your life if you let it. So just huge kudos and gratitude to you for, and I love one of the blog posts that you wrote recently about how this movement is so not about you. And if you don't step outside of your own fear, then you can't serve and do the work that you're called to do for everyone else. And so, you know, stepping out of your own way with your own fear. I know you share on one of your posts on your Facebook page, on your site, you're holding a sign that says fear of success, and what that really, you share what that means to you. You really open up and are vulnerable in that way. And I think it's so powerful that you are willing to share that, because oftentimes people on the outside look in and you're out there doing your work, right? And serving your purpose and walking alongside these women. But sometimes it might look like it's easy, or you don't have fear, and I think that can sometimes be further from the truth. And I think I can relate to that.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that I do my best in doing along this journey is remaining vulnerable. I love Brené Brown with her book, The Power of Vulnerability. And one of the things, my favorite quotes that she says is, you have to tell your story with those who deserve to hear it. And these women deserve to hear my story. And, you know, I hate when people call me they call me like this local celebrity. I hate when people say that. But when women run up to me on the streets, or in Walmart, or in Target, or recently at my daughter's gymnastics class, usually when I'm looking a hot mess is when I run into women, which is fine, because they need to see that I'm not always glammed up like on social media. And so this one woman, she said, I actually saw this Fearless thing and I bought it, and it's a frame. It's something, she said, and I bought it for you because I knew one day I was going to see you in person, and I just took it out of my car, and here's the day that I saw you in person. And so, you know, and then she sits down and she goes, I know that you say that you experience fear, but I don't see it in you. And that touched me. And that's the same day I did that fear of success post. It's because I know that I'm being vulnerable, but it's somehow they still don't believe it. So I said, you know what? Here it is. And I put the fear of success. Here's where I play small in my life. It's literally something I have to do every morning. I get up every morning and I do my routine. I do my affirmations with my daughter, and I have to tell myself, you can't, you know, you have to live on the other side of your fear. You deserve, right? So whatever is out there for you, you deserve. And success is a relative term. It's different for everyone. For me, being successful means being effective. So when I'm effective, I'll be successful. And I can't be afraid of what comes from that effectiveness. And a lot of times in my life and business, I've played small. I have, because of being afraid of what'll come next from being, having that effectiveness. And so I did put that post out there because I wanted people to see, here's my fear. What's your fear? Show me your fear and show me your fear less. I want to see it. What are you afraid of? Now, what can we do together to combat that, to bring you into your zone of fearlessness? And so that's what this movement is about. I will forever be vulnerable. There are days that I have days where it feels like I just stepped in hot poo in my favorite Jessica Simpson shoes. And I get on Facebook and I tell people, y'all, this is what happened to me today. But here's how I'm going to not internalize that and let it affect my life and my future. And I will continue to do that throughout this movement.
Well, I can't thank you enough again for just sharing your story and sharing your mission, your vision. From the first day I met you, I knew you were a firecracker from day one, and I had no doubt you were going to continue to touch so many lives, and you have. And it's so awesome and powerful to see what you're doing on the scale that you're doing it, because it's such important work. And I think just to reinforce people, if they want to connect with you, they can connect with you on your blog at tianapatrice.com.
Correct.
They can purchase your book, 52 Shades of Fearless. They can do that on your website and on Amazon, correct?
Correct. And 52 Shades of Fearless has its own website as well. So 52shadesoffearless.com.
Perfect. And then the Fearless Tour. So thefearlesstour.com.
Correct. Thefearlesstour.com. It's so crazy because I have all of these websites there. But the great thing is TianaPatrice.com is revamping. We'll actually be relaunching this week. But you'll be able to get to everything from that website. And even if you go over to 52shadesoffearless.com, you'll be able to get back to the Fearless Tour or the TianaPatrice.com. So all in one. But it's very important as business owners to control your domain name. So I'll throw that business tip in there as well. And amillionfearlessstrong.org will be launching here soon as well.
I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So August 27th, Dothan, Alabama. Anybody can come from anywhere to
absolutely
kick off the tour with you. And then they want to follow you with other cities that are being launched on the tour. Again, thefearlesstour.com. And I hope that we get you in Boston. So we would love to have you. And I have no doubt there's plenty, including myself, of women who are ready to be a part of A Million Fearless Strong, and full support and whatever we can do to continue and help lift this movement, because it really is so powerful. So thank you again for joining us today. We'd love to have you back. I would actually love to, if you'd be willing, maybe break down some of your book with us.
That'd be great.
I think there's such great content in there, and I love the title too, 52 Shades of Fearless. It's when you launched it, it was around the time of the movie, which I'm sure
yes, which I have honestly never seen. I've never seen that.
I've never seen it either, but it lined up, but I would love to kind of talk with you more about that, and maybe have you share some of your best practices and tips of just how, again, to beat the hustler of fear.
Fear. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having me, Jodi. And one last thing that I do want to say, I want to just again say thank you, because you do not know how just your mentorship in the past has really helped me even today. You gave me a book that said, how many people does it take to make a difference? One. And I reread that book right before I launched this tour, because I was so afraid that I wasn't enough. And that book really helped me launch this movement as well, because it only takes one person to make a difference. But together, of course, we can start a movement. So I just appreciate that.
Oh, that just warmed my heart. Thank you. So I remember giving you that book.
I still have it, and you signed it. You wrote me a note in it. So I just appreciate you really seeing something in me at the age of 21 and 22 that I didn't see in myself. I appreciate that, and you nurturing that and not turning that away. So thank you.
Well, thank you for paying it forward and doing the work that you're doing. And that's what it's all about. We all have responsibilities and lifting each other up. And so the only way we can do that is to partner together and continue that movement forward. So again, TianaPatrice.com. You can follow more episodes of Inspire Me TV at JodiAshbrook.com. And don't forget, if you are ready to be a part of the Fearless movement and show us what your fearless looks like, thefearlesstour.com. So thank you again, Tiana. It was wonderful to see you. And we hopefully will have you back sometime again soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.